Hello and welcome to this Banter Blitz show for the 5th year anniversary of Chess24. Yeah, I'm happy to play a couple of games, but before, you should definitely note that there is a good deal today for the birthday. I have to say that I can read that. Yeah, birthday 2019 gives you extra month if you go for 1, 2 or 3 years of premium. So make sure you take advantage of this opportunity if you want to go premium. Okay, now who is challenging me? Aha, Banter is challenging me. I have some clear suspicion who that is. So let's roll Banter. Yeah, the Queen's Gambit accepted. He doesn't mind to create the weaknesses on the Queen side. Interesting. I'm not very knowledgeable about this, I have to admit. It's been a while since I looked at the Queen's Gambit accepted. And it's normally not appearing in my games, as I tend to play other setups. Yeah, with knight f3 or c4. I don't know, does he have a name in there? No, he's got the name in there, you can look it up. As the name is in there, that's a German international master and actually a teammate of mine. So it's not exactly an unknown. I don't know how to play this position, honestly. I wanted to play with bishop f3, but that is kind of silly. So he gains this space, but he gives me this nice square on d4. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, we can now trade. I wonder. So this, and now queen to b1. Does he try something like bishop c3 or no? That doesn't work. Yeah, you cannot establish a pawn there. I mean, at the end of the day, isn't the b7 bishop just a bad piece? Or is he going nice? 95, the big thing that I'm not getting. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, 95. I can take e4. I can take e4 here. Or not. I can take e4, right? Knight c3 takes b7. Knight e2, king f1. It's mate. It's an immediate mate. I'm such a moron. What am I seeing? That's just totally ridiculous. Okay, I just totally overlooked that it's an immediate mate. That's very silly. That's very silly, of course. Siri, don't disturb me. That was silly. Yeah, I wonder what that position is like. I just thought I'm eternally better here. Like, I cannot take e4. That changes the whole perspective, of course, if he has knight c3 somewhere. Yeah, I completely relied on not d5 not being possible. Yeah. Okay, guys. Yeah, and thanks Benny for playing. Okay, so who is on? Anna, whatever. It's a very long name, I'm sorry. Anna Swasim. And that is a non-premium. Oops. Sorry for accepting that. That was a mistake. Jonathan Russell is on Chess Hans. I've never played Chess Hans. Yeah. I don't know if Banter is in the chat. Would be interesting to know what he thinks about the position before I blundered. I wasn't really sure about it. I thought I'm better, but I could be wrong. He has far more experience with those. So we have a Catalan with an early d-takes c4. I'm playing the queen a4 check line, which is the simplest one available. Okay, c6. It's not a beautiful looking move, really. Still it's a tough call to take on d7. I don't think I want to do that. Just increase the central control. Right now, yeah, maybe stop it. Stop the pawns. The big problem will be the c6 pawn. I'm curious how he's going to keep that pawn. Still difficult to play c5. My knight on e2 is not very well positioned. I wonder how to handle this. This is an attractive tempo move though. He basically has to go back to d8 as a5 is just hanging. Queen c7, bishop f4 doesn't help either. No knight g4. My main concern is always c5. If I can win a pawn there or prevent him from doing that, my position is just excellent. Now after c5, probably d5. Even though taking, it's not bad either. I'm trying to get this to d3. Now if he takes, it's an interesting question. Even knight takes looks very strong. His knights look quite terrible. E5 I did not actually see, to be honest. Yeah, I guess d6. I don't want the position to be so closed. And this is still very nice. I don't even see how he prevents the exchange from dropping. Bishop d6. Doesn't look very healthy. Ugh. I'm always trying to find some nice concept on how I could, oops, that's a mouse slip, huh? Some nice concept how I could incorporate some physical exercise into my daily routine. Maybe I should just drink more tea, yeah, use this big teapot and yeah, weightlifting. Okay, let's just be simple about it. I'm a full rook up. Rook is a bit much. And Chess Hans resigns. Okay, Capaldi is challenging me. And let's see what he's doing. Yeah, so what is happening after my show? There's one hour of Jan with I think it's an English language Banter Blitz. Then about 2 hours of Peter Svidler and world champion Magnus Carlsen battling it out in dual commentary match. Very cool stuff. Capaldi is not playing. And then I think there's a show by Lubbe at 8. And at 10 there is Andrei Ostrovsky also streaming. I think so. You can basically watch the whole day. Eduard Popa, who is that? That's supposed to be a real name. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's a highly rated player that I just don't know. So it's very much possible. You've got so many strong titled players. He's got a very nice high rating, 2,957. Okay, Jan is at 8. Okay, I didn't know that. And then they did they rescheduled some stuff. Okay, now we have a Queen's Indian position here where I'm a little bit uncertain of what Black did here. I don't think it's that great, but I have to admit that my own knowledge in those structures is somewhat limited. I somehow never, or very rarely, had it on the board, and therefore sometimes struggling a little bit with correctly evaluating it. Yeah, here I would suspect that I'm better, but maybe I'm wrong. No, I did not watch the Banterthon. When it was on, I was just too busy, or I think part of it I wasn't even at home, and usually I don't watch the archived shows if there are some. Usually I don't. Now, Eduard Popper, he is looking at queen takes c7 and also bishop takes e4. He has to find some solution for this issue. One possible idea is knight f6, after which queen c7. Yeah, but there's always b7 hanging, so I can just take. Well, then I don't know what he's doing. Don't see a satisfactory solution here. Okay, now taking d7 and taking c5 is certainly a little bit better for me, but is that the best solution? Can also take e4. Rook d1 is also a good move. Let's go rook d1. That's an interesting question by Turbo X99. Aligned against Grünfeld, which is simple and easy to play against booked up Grünfeld players. Yeah, there are some possibilities, but I need to say that they are not super simple. Super simple is one very offbeat idea, if you know he's going to play Grünfeld, you need to do it very early, is d4, knight f6, knight f3, g6, knight bd2. This is an interesting line that I can recommend. It's a line that has been very frequently played, actually, by Magnus. Carlsen has played it a couple of times, and also played by Gustafsson, if you want to recommendations. And this is a fairly good anti-Grünfeld line. Okay, just taking here. Once the Grünfeld is on, knight bd2 has the idea to play e4, and if they go d5, you can play with b4 ideas. It's a bit unconventional, but it's definitely a playable line. If the Grünfeld is on the board already, yeah, you want to look at this, then it's more difficult. I would probably suggest to play knight f3 on move 4 and bishop g5, or play on move 4 bishop f4. Bishop f4, you can play with some offbeatish ideas that ask a couple of questions and is very low risk. This is what I do myself if I play d4 and I get a Grünfeld. Not with huge enthusiasm, I have to say. Grünfeld is just a very good opening. But this is what I usually do. Okay, he wants to go f6 here. And he's got queen g4 check. Yeah, just stepping out of this. The queen was nice there on e4, but a centralized queen always looks neat, but it was constantly exposed to these here. I can maybe take on e2. Yeah, I should have considered this a bit more carefully. f7 now doesn't work. It's close. Check. Very stupid. Just instead of king h1 e3, and it's just a simple win. Very simple win. And now it's not so clear. Okay. I want to play as actively as possible and not play something slowish. I wanted to go queen d5, but I now see he can take on f4. We can just take on f4, which is a big issue. That is so stupid. Yeah, losing this game is very stupid after you played an absolutely atrocious opening. I mean, Black's opening play was just absolutely outlandishly terrible. Yeah, now I'm in this nonsense. Very, very stupid. I mean, I just play here. We'll just play e3, then the game is just over. His material down, has the worst pieces. It's just terrible. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe king h1 in itself wasn't spoiling everything, but it's just totally stupid. If you have complete control and the other guy just has a lost position, keep the control and don't try anything weird. When I just made this king h1 was like a routine move, and I didn't think concretely, which was the problem. Often the problem. Just make a reasonably quick move that looks normal in a blitz game, and then you lose the thread. Okay, Turbo X plays a Sicilian. Yeah, a6 is an interesting line. Yeah, just a simple development probably. A6 is almost a full tempo loss. It is still playable for Black, of course, but it is a move, and it can be important. Yeah, knight c3 now is coming with a tempo. But in this position, actually, the move a6 does fit quite well. And if you go to d6, knight b5 is a constant worry. Okay, that did not happen. Okay, I want to try to accelerate the play a little bit. Okay, now I can take d7 and play d5, right? Grabbing the bishop here, and then opening everything up. Black is probably okay in this position if he is precise. Yeah, interesting. Now, yeah, should I take on c6? Yeah, I think I'm doing it. It leads to a completely one-sided position, which is probably, objectively speaking, should be a draw. But I can still torture him a little bit on those 2 pawns. So now let's see. He wants to play c5 maybe. It's not so desirable actually, because that puts the pawn on a dark square. Rook f4, king e6, nah, doesn't really do much. Let's play g4, that is universally useful. Make it more difficult for him to move any of those pawns. Whoosh. And let's not pre-move this. You never know. At rook h4 is good. This is why g4 is good. It prevents f5 basically. I mean, he played it anyway, but it is actually not a playable move. It looks odd. It really looks odd. Okay, yes, I shouldn't have done that. I mean, I will win on time, but still, no, he resigns. No, he lost on time. Okay. I mean, white is clearly better. He's got 4 pawn islands, and I can attack all of them, f5, h5, and so on. It's just an eternally worse position with no activity. Yeah, thanks for the game, Turbo X. It's a non-premium. Ferre is challenging me. It's a 3+2, just in case you're wondering about how the time behaves. It's a small increment in play. Yeah, hello to Sergei Rachmaninov. We played on Wednesday, right? Okay, this is a rare line in the Rui. It was a favorite by Paul Karras, and he played it a lot throughout his chess career. There are some funny ideas. This is one of them. And all of a sudden, I've got a knight on f4, menacing, close to the king. It probably won't lead to much, but oh, it does lead to much. Yes! The hero of the day is the knight. Knight e7, g6, f4, d3, e1. Hooray! Yeah, that's fun. Give me the knight, give me the rook. Okay, now I still have to be alert. Shouldn't blunder e5 or something. Good question by Crumbling Student. Will I be watching Carlsen versus Fiddler? I guess so, yeah, it should work out. Don't have anything else what I need to do urgently. Yeah, I absolutely don't like to play g6, but I have to prevent knight f5 or combinations, things with knight f5 like d5, he trades and so on. I have to prevent that. This is a bit artificial, but I don't see an alternative. Okay, now f5, there is queen g5. I wonder if this is an idea, simply trying to get I think it's I really had fun there, that the knight is having such a long journey and ultimately it actually manages to take something. Yeah, this is true, you're right. The Henker says, yeah, Donna wrote articles about the joy that you can get out of the opponent blundering, that it is a much that is much more satisfying to win due to a stupid blunder by the opponent than having played a good game yourself. Yeah, absolutely. If you're not familiar with Donna's writings, you should do that. It's fantastic stuff. The only thing that you should not be, I mean, Donna died in 1988, I believe, so a long time ago, and that was far before the term of political correctness hit. Yeah, and Donna was far from being politically correct. Yeah, he was just stating what he thought is right, and that quite often was not a majority opinion, let's say. Ooh, what am I doing here? I missed that he now can play discovered moves with the knight. I just hope he doesn't have anything good. Yeah, today, I mean, trolling is a word that is relatively new, of course, internet phenomenon, but that would describe some of Donna's articles quite well. Yeah, he always claimed like women cannot play chess, they're completely useless in anything that it requires some sort of intellectual effort and so on. This is yeah, well, you don't have to agree with him and everything, but you can definitely appreciate that it is entertaining in many regards. This is something that many people have problems with, to see people that they don't agree with and somehow still have some sort of enjoyment out of it. Yeah, this is often a problem. They only see, I don't know, some political, yeah, come on, let's simplify this stuff. They see some something that don't quite fit their worldview, and then everything that person does or everything that's related is total crap. And this is a very weird way, I think, to approach things, because things are often not that straightforward at all. You can be, for example, politically completely off, or have some totally terrible opinions, but you can still be entertaining in some way. It happens. Yeah, there are many examples. I want to get the knight over to capture that pawn. That was my idea. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I was planning queen takes g6. That was a plan. It was probably a bad plan, but it was a plan. That cannot be right, giving me this pawn. Now my position is nicely coordinated. What? Sorry, CP, I don't understand. What am I supposed to change? Okay, thanks for the game, Ferrer. He now resigned. That was a tough game. I don't think I did this too well. Let's play Ikara. Yeah, I see. I don't have the English one. I'm sorry. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but I don't have it. Nothing I can do about it. Okay, now we have a Tarrasch, Queen's Gambit Tarrasch defense. And Ikara plays the main line. Knight takes e4 is not the most testing move. But it is still not so easy for black to handle. I keep forgetting how this precisely works. Yeah, this is not something that bothers me all that much. He more or less has to move the bishop, right? I mean, you cannot just give me the bishop on f6. It would be a little bit surprising if you could. He does that. Okay. I currently have some green tea. Yeah, now he's in that pin, and I'm at least threatening to take on c6, take on d4. Yeah, maybe strengthen this idea a little bit. Of course, taking on c6 is not completely without its problems. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm grabbing this, but not such an easy decision. Alright, so I'm going to play f3 to secure the squares around the king a little bit better. I don't have that light square bishop anymore, which is an issue. He will always have a little bit of play here. That's basically unavoidable. What I'm trying to do is, maybe I had g4. I should have thought about this for at least a moment. I also have some play here related to g7. I'm not sure that taking on g3 was helping. I mean, I can maybe use the h-file better than he can. Interesting. Perpetual stalemate says German tea. German tea? I wasn't aware there's German tea. Or maybe you're referring to Ostfriesentee, which is of course from Germany. From Ostfriesland, obviously. They have huge tea plantations there. And now I'm trying to all of a sudden play on the h-file myself. I think it will work. Okay. All of a sudden I got some play there. So we sent the king to e8, and now let's try to invade with the queen c5. It looks strong. Okay. Yeah, I should probably give the check. And now a couple of things that are probably quite good here. Even just taking a7 wouldn't be that bad. but most likely this game is going to be decided by him losing on time. That was an additional point of queen c5. Yeah, thanks for the game, Ikara. He says thanks. All right. Okay, now who else is there? Centurion. Why not? Centurion. Centurion, probably not. So let's get going. Yeah, there's a discussion about some English tea and so on, and it is also mentioned that, of course, in the UK they drive on the other side of the road, yeah, compared to most other countries. And this is something that I always wondered. I've been to the UK, but then I've never driven on UK roads. And what I really wondered is how I would fare on that. I think it really could drive me totally nuts. That it's that everything is the other way around. I was considering to play a tournament more than once in Ireland, and I was sometimes, when I was trying to work out how to get there, I was sometimes considering to go a little bit of distance by car in Ireland, and I was always thinking, oh my goodness, yeah, Ireland also has it on the wrong side, right? I mean the Republic of Ireland. Okay, so gewaltig here, which means enormous, has played a somewhat unconventional mix of a stone wall and a Leningrad system. Really uncertain about all this. So I've gained quite a good amount of space, but it's not so clear how to continue from here. Something to c5 would be nice. How do I get something going here? I wonder if I should take and then knight b3 c5. Yeah, I think it would probably drive me crazy to drive on the other side of the road. I don't know. I think in comparison, probably driving in the US is a lot easier. They have those wide roads, yeah, just to that they can drive there with their crazy pickup trucks and stuff. This is probably Feels very spacious for European. Okay, I took on d5, mostly to enable knight b3 to c5. Interesting. Knight c6, so I can always take. It's not a big issue. Okay, now over to c5. I'm currently playing in the NRW Oberliga, which is the third league in Germany, the highest league of the state. What does a perfect driving record mean? Like no accidents or bishop a3 looks a bit sick, but okay, I don't see anything else at the moment. Yeah, it's a bit of a silly move, actually. And now I'm quite okay, I guess. So do I just send this back here, or how do we do that? I guess don't have 7. No accidents, no tickets. Yeah, well, I'm good with the accidents. I never had one. I mean, I'm not so good at avoiding. I'm not so good at avoiding small scratches. Yeah, that is not my thing. Parking or whatever. I always have some smallish things happening. And I mean, I always had speeding tickets with my former car. That was just too tempting to drive quickly. And I really believe that is an influence. I mean, I think the car sometimes makes you drive faster. You wouldn't do it if you have something slowish. And yeah, this position looks pretty awful for black. I just wonder how exactly to continue. I'm bad at parking, always was. I just take, oops. Wow, that no, no. Black has 0 moves here, yeah, cannot move anything, and I'm just pushing the a pawn home. That can't work. Yeah, the car made me do it. No, that's not what I mean, but it's a huge difference. I mean, it's a huge difference. Simply, if you drive, let me take that Harigiri. That's a cool name. I really think it's a substantial difference. I had the car that I had before the one that I'm driving now had 180 something horsepower, and it is just a big difference because you just barely touch the gas, and it's like whoosh. Yeah, you accelerate so quickly, and you don't actually feel the speed all that much, because often in those higher horsepower cars you have a better insulation, so you just don't feel it so much, and all of a sudden you see, oh wow, this is too quick. And that is often the problem. It's not like it is that happened with me. It's not like you're speeding all the time, but you sometimes don't actually recognize how quick you're going. And this happened to me a lot when I was like, oh my god! And then whoosh, I was in a they had the ticket. Yeah, they gave me the ticket. And if you drive what I'm driving now, it's like 75 horsepower. Yeah, you're just basically crawling. I mean, how can you speed? It's just not. It's very difficult. I mean, I actually managed one ticket in 2.5 years when I was just like completely brain dead while driving. But other than that, it doesn't happen so often. Yeah, here Hari Giri played a bit of an odd opening. It's something that just doesn't work, honestly. Okay, maybe if he gets to g5, there is a little bit. Yeah, that's actually true. Maybe f5 was a bit too early. I'm currently playing second board in the Oberliga. We switched boards. I had first board for a couple of years, but we wanted to have a small change there. Queen d5, okay. Yeah, I should definitely pay attention to the mate threat. Yeah, it's a bit annoying, so. Giovanni says he loves his cruise control. I can never use that. It sounds odd, but I try, but somehow I can never use that. It just feels odd. I know many people who just say, I just yeah, put in cruise control and then nothing happens anymore. I don't do that ever. I was a bit surprised that he allowed e4. Now I just don't see what happens. What would happen to me? Ah. Jesus, why did I miss that? That is so silly. That is so silly. He probably could have done that before, right? Okay. The funny thing is that he's not threatening to move it. Okay. Because the e1 rook is unprotected. I tried to use cruise control, of course, on the Autobahn, but I just never can make it work. I mean, because there will always be some moron just being super slow or super quick or whatever. Yeah, I do get the adaptive cruise control. I do get that. I don't have that in my car, but I want to get it. I think that could definitely work for me. But just like set it on whatever, yeah, and then nothing. Then you have to do nothing. I don't see that working too much, too great on the Autobahn. Okay, is he threatening something? Bishop f5. Yeah, I never had adaptive cruise control. Maybe my next car. The adaptive cruise control, basically you set up to adjust the speed according to the car before you. So you say I want to stay, I don't know, 100 meters behind the guy in front, and then the cruise control adjusts to that. That I definitely could see working, but whenever I try to just set a certain speed on the Autobahn, again, somebody is crawling or you have some crazy truck driver or whatever, and then you have to react again. So here I think I'm defending this. It's basically no way you can avoid to trade the rest. Missing knight takes e4 though was very stupid. I was quite lucky that didn't lose immediately. Yeah, CP Kuita says that those systems in the car, they don't work well in heavy rain. Yeah, I heard that. I recently saw a car review on YouTube where I thought, okay, what kind of person did develop this thing? They attached all there are of course cameras and other things that like whatever, I don't know what it is, like radar or whatever, that is there to track like the distance and so on. And usually all those cameras and sensors and whatever, they are usually at the windshield, like you have the glass of the windshield, and then it's above. And they showed this car, and the car had all the sensors down at the bottom, like below the front grille. So whenever the road would be you would, let's say you drive through a muddy road in winter, like it's then this will invariably not work, because there would be some kind of mud on the sensors and on the cameras, and it doesn't work. This is just a totally weird way of constructing it. Okay, so we have a London system here against Dr. for Khan, Doctor for something Khan. Okay, now I have a good development, but of course White's position is notoriously solid. Okay. Yeah, so we'll just trade off a bit. Oh, he allows me to take that. That is a very surprising decision. That is just very weakening. Surprising that he did that. Yeah, some of that, I think some of those systems that are now installed in modern cars are extremely useful, and some are kind of not so useful. What I think is extremely useful is what they have nowadays, the blind spot monitoring. This is something that is extremely useful. I mean, of course you can look yourself, and you should, but it is extremely useful to have this information that something is like, yeah, on the left hand side of you that you don't spot. It's extremely useful. And the other thing that I feel is also very useful is a backup camera. That is just, I think that prevents many small, mostly small accidents if you have a camera instead of just viewing, instead of just looking out of the back. In particular, if you look at how many modern cars are constructed in a way that you don't have a good rear view. Yeah, in some cars you just cannot view out of the back. Some extreme cases, of course, there, but even on average you don't see that well. The rear parking camera, this is now in the US, this is now mandatory by law, and I think that is not such a bad idea. So every new car needs to have one. Yeah, I think it's just very useful. I have a rear parking camera, and last year I was staying for about a week for vacation. I was staying at a place that was basically, I can take, no, let's go G6. That was a farm. Yeah, they rebuilt this farm into, yeah, some parts of it they built apartments and so on. A very nice place, but they also had many animals running around, and one time, I'm not 100% sure, but I might have yeah, I might have hit a cat there, yeah, if I wouldn't have the camera. I mean, it's very much low, yeah, and once I wanted to, yeah, drive back, and I was just seeing the cat in the camera. It's like, oh my God, thank God I had it. Yeah. Okay, now back to the game. I have a somewhat better ending here, of course, but how do we make any headway? Not easy. Tja. The knight looks stronger than the bishop here, but I don't really see how to make any headway without this move. Now I get the d file. I know what Magnus drives. He's got a Tesla Model S already a couple of years ago. And it's kind of a no-brainer, yeah, because, I mean, in Norway they are very much electric, and he can afford it, so. Yeah, I read he doesn't have a license, right? But he's got that Tesla. That's fun. Yeah, and also fun is this position where you can nicely press. Okay, now how do we window? He can never take d3, so I should probably pay go towards the h pawn here. Yeah, now he has to give me a pawn. Okay. b4 is a funky move. Yeah, come on. I'm just going to take a very simple approach. I can take all the pawns and win with them. Okay. Yeah, probably he never had the time to get the driver's license. If he is around like becoming world champion and stuff, you're busy. I guess probably driving in Norway is a fairly simple affair. I recently read that they have crazy speed limits, like on their highways. And I don't know what they exactly have, but it's super slow. I mean, it's super slow. He has a couple of checks, but my pawn will promote. All right, thanks for the game, DR4 Khan. Okay, so now. Oops, now who do we have? Rocco? Anybody on I haven't played? I don't think so. Zimba is challenging me. Asim Vandal. Okay, so I know. Interesting. Okay, now let's go. Yeah, okay. Obviously, the speed limit in Norway is slow compared to Germany, like because everything is slower than no speed limit. But it's also, I think, what they have is quite slower than the typical speed limit. Yeah, where you have 130 kilometers, like what Austria has, or Slovenia. What I'm used to, I'm driving in Austria and Slovenia quite often for my summer holidays. Yeah, that is a very strange way of playing this opening. White is already, yeah, White already has to try very hard to stay equal here. I've got lots of pressure, and it's tough to take. Oh, obviously now I'm driving through Austria, and Slovenia is very nice, especially through Austria. There are some fantastically scenic drives. The first couple of years when I drove to Slovenia and go through Austria, I would usually, let me think about this for a moment. Bishop takes. I was usually starting or I had a schedule, let's say, that was working in a way that I would reach Austria in the early morning hours, like when the sun is rising, and this is really great. It's very scenic. It always feels like driving through a postcard or something. It's really nice. Yeah, I think with the speed limit in Germany, there is one thing that is often not, let's say, understood correctly. I mean, we technically have no speed limit, but most of the roads on most of the Autobahn has a speed limit. So it's not like you can drive with no speed limit all the time. Most of the time there is one. And it's a bit of a pin going on. It's a bit of a problem. This is not really nice. I think I'm okay, but it's not what I was envisioning to happen some time ago. I was just a pawn up with a good position, and now I'm not. I mean, I'm a pawn up, but my position has suffered a little bit. He can actually take a7 if he likes. Yeah, okay, now king f7. And then move the bishop next. Yeah, maybe something like queen to f5 to have queen h5. I'm not quite sure. White is still quite active, so he should definitely be fine. Knight f3, f6, the Arctic defense. Oh, I don't know. How do people come up with those openings and crazy names for openings? The Arctic defense. So I'm in an ending. Hooray. With the pawn up. Bishop a7, rook a8 always will get the pawn back. Now, can I... Let's see, king c6, rook c1. Doesn't go all that easily. Oh, I allowed rook c7. I have this idea to play rook e2. Okay. He's getting my king to b3. I don't mind that. So, yeah, this is easy. Easy decision. Oh! Oh, that's nice. I completely missed that. The good thing is, I still have a very dangerous d-pawn. I think I'm still winning with the d-pawn. d3, no trickery. Check and king c2. That's it. Is it? Or is he stopping me here? He's just about stopping me. Okay. Wacky. I have no time on the clock. This is the most serious part of this. I mean, black can never lose. If I just stay, it's a draw. Ah, okay. That was it's a nice idea. Yeah. Yeah, I lost some time. All right. Losing that game is not a good thing, really, because it was so one-sided. Anyway, thanks for the game, Zimba. So we have 3 minutes left, which is not a lot. Anybody out for a quick bullet game, 1 minute or 2 minutes or something? That would be nice. So, anybody out there for a quick bullet game? 1 or 2 minutes, fine. Yeah, I generally like to play, but the show is over in 3 minutes, so one quick game. If you challenge me to a 1 or 2 minute game, I'm happy to take that challenge. Okay, here we go. Nick 06. And what is that actually? 1 minute? Okay. I just quickly develop here. I have a bit of pressure here on the queen side. Not much, but a little bit. Okay. Oh. Should not blunder the queen. That doesn't help, regardless of the time control. And that's a big fork. A really big fork and a big weak back rank. Oops. Let's be annoying. Yeah, just stop any back rank mates. Rook b1 was almost made. Anyway. Yeah, and mate with the queen promotion. Oh, I got a badge. 25 bullet games won in a row. Funny, I never play bullet. Only like this, yeah, at the very end of sessions. So it piles up. Probably it took me 2 years to to get all those bullet games played. Okay, guys, thanks a lot for watching the the 5th anniversary show of Chess24. This is the way to do it. If you want to get premium, take the birthday code 2019. I hope you all enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. I'll be back on Wednesday, and there is more to come later today. Like in 1 hour, we have the match between Peter Svidler and Magnus Carlsen coming up. So make sure to stick around for that. Bye-bye.